There comes a moment in every man's life when illusions begin to die. It may happen in silence, perhaps after betrayal, after failure, after heartbreak, after years spent chasing things that ultimately left him empty. Or perhaps it happens on an ordinary morning, when he looks into the mirror and realizes that the person staring back is not the man he was meant to become. Many men never recover from this moment. They blame society. They blame circumstance. They blame other people. And slowly, they surrender. They surrender their ambitions, their discipline, their dignity, their future. But there is another path, a harder path, a quieter path, a path walked by those who understand that the greatest battle a man will ever fight is not against the world. It is against himself, against his impulses, against his fears, against his anger, against his laziness, against the endless excuses whispered by the weaker parts of his own mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Is greater than, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Strength. This is what many men seek. But strength is not found in domination, not in wealth, not in status. True strength is the ability to govern oneself, to remain calm in chaos, to act according to principle rather than emotion, to endure hardship without becoming bitter, to walk alone when necessary. Today, we will examine 12 brutal rules every man must learn before it is too late. These rules are not comfortable. Truth rarely is. But if embraced, they possess the power to transform a man from someone controlled by life into someone who consciously shapes it. Let us begin. Rule 1. No one is coming to save you. This realization is painful, but it is liberating. Many men spend years waiting for motivation, waiting for opportunity, waiting for the perfect circumstances, waiting for someone to rescue them from mediocrity. No one is coming. No mentor, no friend, no government, no miraculous event. The responsibility belongs to us entirely. Epictetus taught that freedom begins when we take responsibility for what lies within our control. The moment a man accepts total responsibility for his life, he becomes dangerous in the best possible sense. Because excuses lose their power, complaints lose their purpose, victimhood loses its attraction. From that moment forward, every sunrise becomes an invitation. Rise, train, study, improve, act, not because someone demands it, but because your future depends upon it. The harsh truth is this: the life you desire will not be handed to you. It must be built, brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day. Rule 2. Your emotions are real, but they are not commands. Modern culture often encourages emotional indulgence. Feel anger, express it. Feel fear, retreat. Feel discomfort, escape. But a man governed entirely by emotion becomes unstable, predictable, weak. Émotion contient information, but they should never possess authority. Seneca warned, is greater than, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. How many opportunities have been lost because of imagined fear? How many relationships destroyed by uncontrolled anger? How many dreams abandoned because temporary discomfort felt unbearable? Courage is not the absence of emotion. It is disciplined action despite emotion. Feel fear. Proceed anyway. Feel doubt. Continue anyway. Feel anger. Respond deliberately rather than react impulsively. Because every time reason triumphs over impulse, character grows stronger. And character ultimately determines destiny. Rule 3. Comfort is slowly destroying you. Few things weaken a man more thoroughly than excessive comfort. Comfort asks for nothing, challenges nothing, demands nothing. And because it demands nothing, it gives nothing. A comfortable life often appears attractive, yet beneath the surface, comfort frequently breeds stagnation. Potential decays, discipline disappears, purpose fades. The ancient philosophers regularly practiced voluntary hardship. Simple food, cold weather, physical exertion, periods of solitude. Not because suffering itself is noble, but because hardship reveals strength. Ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you willingly chose difficulty? When was the last you deliberately entered discomfort for the sake of growth? A man who avoids all discomfort eventually becomes incapable of enduring unavoidable suffering. And suffering will come. Life guarantees it. Therefore, train. Wake early. Exercise. Learn difficult skills. Choose discipline over convenience. Because comfort weakens. Hardship strengthens. Rule 4. Learn to stand alone. One of the greatest fears many men carry is the fear of standing alone. The fear of rejection. The fear of criticism. The fear of being misunderstood. So they conform. They silence their convictions, suppress their ambitions, compromise their principles, all to secure acceptance. But a man who depends entirely upon the approval of others can never be truly free. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do." Profound words. Because greatness often requires solitude. Note permanent isolation, but the willingness to walk a different path. There will be seasons when few understand your decisions. Few support your transformation. Few recognize your sacrifices. Continue anyway. The strongest men are capable of standing alone because they are anchored internally. Their values guide them. Their conscience sustains them. Their principles protect them. For a man who can stand alone without bitterness possesses a rare and extraordinary strength. Rule 5. Guard your time as if it were your life, because it is. Time is the one possession equally distributed among kings and laborers, philosophers and fools. And yet, it is astonishing how carelessly most men spend it. Hours disappear into distractions. Days vanish in hesitation. Years dissolve in routines devoid of meaning. Then one day, they awaken to an unbearable realization. Life has moved forward without them. Seneca wrote, "Is greater than, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Reflect upon these words. We speak often of lacking time, but perhaps the deeper problem is that we lack priorities. A disciplined man understands that every yes is simultaneously a no. Every hour spent pursuing triviality is an hour stolen from growth, from family, from purpose, from becoming. Therefore, ask yourself each morning, what deserves my life today? Not merely my attention, my life, because time is life measured in moments. Protect it fiercely. Refuse meaningless distractions. Limit unnecessary noise. Spend your hours deliberately. For once wasted, time can never be recovered. Rule 6. Learn to remain silent. There is tremendous strength in silence, yet many men fear it. Silence feels uncomfortable, so they speak excessively, explain themselves constantly, reveal their plans prematurely, argue endlessly, seek validation through words. But wisdom rarely shouts. Wisdom observes, listens, reflects. Epictetus advised, "Is greater than, be mostly silent, or speak only what is necessary." A powerful principle, not because words lack value, but because unnecessary words often weaken influence. Observe the strongest individuals you know. Many speak carefully, deliberately. They understand that speech is a tool, and tools used carelessly create damage. Before speaking, ask, Is it true? Is it necessary? Will these words improve the situation? If not, silence may serve you better. A man who masters silence often masters himself, and self-mastery is among life's greatest achievements. Rule 7. Resentment is self-poison. Few emotions destroy a man more quietly than resentment. Resentment feels justified. It whispers, "You were wronged. You deserve revenge. Never forgive." And slowly, resentment consumes attention, consumes energy, consumes peace. The tragedy is that resentment rarely harms its target. It harms the one who carries it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "is greater than. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Profound wisdom, because hatred binds us to those who injured us. Forgiveness does not excuse wrongdoing, nor does it require reconciliation. Forgiveness simply means refusing to surrender your inner world to another person's actions. Release bitterness. Release vengeance. Release the past. Not because others deserve peace, but because you do. For a man burdened by resentment cannot move freely toward his future. Rule 8. Failure is a teacher, not a verdict. Many men fear failure so deeply that they never truly attempt anything meaningful. They postpone, hesitate, remain within familiar boundaries. Yet the avoidance of failure often guarantees mediocrity. Every worthwhile pursuit contains uncertainty. Every ambitious goal includes setbacks. Every meaningful life experiences defeat. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "is greater than. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Failure is not evidence of inadequacy. It is evidence of effort. The question is never, "Did I fail?" The question is, "What did failure teach me?" Because every setback contains instruction. Every disappointment offers refinement. Every defeat reveals weaknesses requiring attention. The disciplined man does not fear failure. He studies it, learns from it, and returns stronger. Again, and again, and again. This persistence separates extraordinary men from ordinary ones. Rule 9. Your body is your responsibility. The body and mind cannot be entirely separated. Neglect one, and eventually both suffer. Many men desire confidence, clarity, strength, yet they neglect sleep. Avoid physical challenge. Ignore nutrition. Live without discipline. Then wonder why they feel weak. Physical training is not vanity. It is responsibility. Responsibility toward the vessel through which every ambition, relationship, and experience must pass. Train your body, not to impress others, not to seek admiration, but because discipline practiced physically strengthens discipline mentally. When you repeatedly do difficult things voluntarily, your relationship with discomfort changes. You become harder to intimidate, harder to discourage, harder to break. And in a world filled with uncertainty, this resilience is invaluable. Rule 10. Mortality is your greatest teacher. Perhaps nothing clarifies life more powerfully than remembering death. Most people avoid this thought. They distract themselves, postpone reflection, live as though tomorrow were guaranteed. It is not. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This awareness is not morbid. It is liberating, because when we remember life's fragility, trivial concerns lose significance. Petty arguments lose importance. Unnecessary fears diminish. And what truly matters becomes clear. Character, love, truth, purpose, service. Every sunrise is a gift. Every conversation may be the last. Every opportunity is temporary. Therefore, live deliberately. Do not postpone becoming the person you know you could become, because someday there will be no more tomorrows. Number Rule 11. Conduct a nightly trial of yourself. Every evening, before sleep claims the day, there is one practice capable of transforming an ordinary man into an exceptional one. Self-examination. Most men move through life unconsciously. They repeat the same mistakes, indulge the same weaknesses, react in the same ways. And because they never examine themselves, they never truly change. Seneca practiced a powerful ritual every night. He wrote, "Is greater than, when the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said." Imagine the humility this requires, the courage, the honesty. Every evening, ask yourself, where did I act with courage today? Where did fear govern my decisions? Did anger master me, or did E master it? Did I live according to my principles? Did I waste time? Did I do my best? Do not lie to yourself. The world will deceive you enough. Do not join it. Harsh self-condemnation is unnecessary. Honest self-assessment is essential, because a man who cannot confront himself will spend his entire life avoiding growth. Nightly reflection gradually sharpens awareness, and awareness precedes transformation. Day by day, year by year, you begin noticing patterns. You begin correcting weaknesses. You begin becoming. For no enemy is more dangerous than unconscious living, and no ally is more powerful than honest self-knowledge. Number Rule 12. Become the man you would admire. Many men spend their lives searching for heroes, searching for mentors, searching for examples. This is natural, but eventually, every man must ask himself a profound question. If a young boy observed my life closely, would I want him to become like me? Would you want him to inherit your habits, your discipline, your character, your relationship with adversity, your response to hardship? Because whether we realize it or not, we are always becoming an example. The only question is, an example of what? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Is greater than, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." There comes a point when philosophy must become action, when knowledge must become character, when intentions must become habits. Do not merely admire courage. Practice courage. Do not merely admire discipline. Live discipline. Do not merely admire wisdom. Seek wisdom daily. Become the man your future self will thank you for becoming. Become the man your children would respect. Become the man who remains honorable, even when no one is watching. Because reputation is what others think of you. Character is who you are in solitude, and character is destiny. Final reflection. The battle within. In the end, the greatest battle a man fights is invisible. It is not fought on battlefields, not in boardrooms, not in public. It is fought in silence. Each morning, when the alarm sounds and comfort whispers, stay in bed. Each moment, anger demands expression. Each moment, fear encourages retreat. Each moment, temptation invites compromise. These are the battlegrounds upon which character is forged. Most men lose these battles gradually, one compromise at a time, one excuse at a time, one act of cowardice at a time. But the disciplined man chooses differently. He understands that greatness is rarely dramatic. It is quiet, built through small decisions repeated consistently, choosing discipline over comfort, truth over convenience, responsibility over excuses, action over hesitation. Again and again and again, there will be difficult days, days of doubt, days of loneliness, days when progress appears invisible. Continue anyway. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, is greater than, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Let hardship strengthen you. Let failure instruct you. Let solitude refine you. Let adversity reveal who you truly are. Because one day, if you persist, you will look back and realize something extraordinary. The weak, fearful, undisciplined man you once were no longer exists. In his place stands someone stronger, calmer, visa, a man no longer controlled by circumstances, emotions, or the opinions of others. A man who governs himself. And there is no greater victory than that. So rise tomorrow. Rise with purpose. Rise with discipline. Rise knowing that your life is your responsibility. And become the man you were always capable of becoming. And so, we arrive at the end of this journey. But in truth, this is not an ending. It is a beginning. Because knowledge alone changes nothing. A man may read 1,000 books, memorize 1,000 quotes, and listen to countless hours of wisdom, yet remain exactly as he is. Why? Because transformation does not occur when we hear truth. Transformation occurs when we live it. The real challenge begins tomorrow morning, when no one is watching, when there is no audience, no applause, no recognition, only you and your choices. Will you rise when comfort begs you to remain asleep? Will you remain calm when anger demands control? Will you continue forward when fear whispers that you are not enough? Will you stay faithful to your principles when compromise appears easier? These are the moments that define a life, not the grand occasions, not the public victories, but the quiet decisions made in solitude. Remember this. A strong man is not a man who never falls. He is a man who refuses to remain on the ground. A wise man is not one who never makes mistakes. He is one who learns from every mistake. And a disciplined man is not one who always feels motivated. He is one who acts regardless of how he feels. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Is greater than, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Perhaps, if more men lived by these simple words, the world would look very different. Perhaps, if more men mastered themselves instead of trying to master others, there would be less chaos, less resentment, less weakness, less suffering. The world does not need more men chasing status. It needs more men of character, men who keep their word, men who remain calm in adversity, men who act with courage despite fear, men who stand firm in their values even when standing alone, men who understand that true power begins with self-mastery. So as you leave today, carry this thought with you. You still have time. Time to change. Time to rebuild. Time to become stronger. Time to become wiser. Time to become the man you were always meant to be. But do not wait too long, because life moves quickly. Days become years, and years become a lifetime. Begin now. Begin imperfectly. Begin afraid if necessary, but begin. One disciplined action today can alter the course of an entire life. Rise tomorrow with purpose. Guard your mind. Strengthen your body. Refine your character. Master your emotions. And never forget, the greatest victory a man can achieve is not over another human being. It is over himself. And that victory is available to you, beginning this very moment.